Okay, so a few battles from my first stream of the year, and this is my first one. Just using a team that is just a combination of a few things you may have seen on my showcases. So I lead with the Stallbreaker Tapu Fini, which seemed like a good choice after seeing Necrozma, so gave him the taunt, since if Necrozma gets set up then he might be a little bit difficult to beat, and it seems it was a good prediction because it prevented him using a status move. So that gave me a free switch in to do whatever I want, so I thought, okay, I'll send in my Mimikyu and I'll get the Trick Room set up for my Marowak-A sweep. And of course, you know, it's my first battle back, and I kind of forgot about Misty Terrain, so I wasted my first turn. But that's okay. I've Disguise and I've got Focus Sash, so I can definitely get my Trick Room set up. So I was a bit confused here because I see him move twice before me, so I think, okay, you know, that's cool, I'll set up the Trick Room and I'll move first next time. But it seems that it was actually a speed tie and he won it twice because he went first again after the Trick Room was set up. So I was thinking, oh yeah, you know, sure, Destiny Bond, you know, kill him. No, apparently not. When it's a speed tie and he won 3 times. There we go. How unlucky for me. Anyway, I got the Marowak out. Couldn't wait for it. I love it. I love this guy. He kills so many things in Trick Room, honestly. So yeah, no way that Lurantis is going to survive. I mean, yeah, Flare Blitz, super effective, all that stuff. And it's a mirror match, Marowak versus Marowak, but of course mine is tailored specifically for Trick Room. Brave Nature, so minus the speed, 0 speed IV, definitely going to outspeed in the Trick Room setting. And I was really surprised actually to see that Necrozma survived this Shadow Bone. I mean, wow. I mean, there you go, that's the, can't remember exactly what his ability is, but yeah, reduces super effective hits, basically like Solid Rock. So there you go, he survived that pretty well. And I guess I was kind of lucky here to not get killed and also not get paralyzed, so that was pretty useful. Managed to get the kill on Necrozma. Again, don't really want that guy setting up on me. It might be an issue. So I just left my Marowak in because I thought, you know, you can't always predict exactly what they're going to do. I don't know, you could have done Psychic Fangs, you could have done anything. So I just played it safe. And it gave me free entry for my Pyukumuku to do the Purify-Z and Baton Pass into the Tapu Lele. And I wasn't expecting him to send out something that could do so much damage to me, even when I have my Purify-Z up. As you'll see in a second. I thought, oh, you know, I'm quite, what's the word? Complacent. When I get my Purify-Z up, I think, oh, you know, there's surely nothing will ever be able to take me out, you know, I've got all this defense. But my goodness, that Bullet Seed did a lot of damage, and it was actually really lucky that I managed to get it set up before he sent this guy out, because I would have definitely died if you see the damage. Yeah, so if I wasn't +1 defense, I would have 100% died. So anyway, Pyukumuku continuing to impress me. So he manages to get the Baton Pass off to Tapu Lele, and this is basically, I always class this as game over. Like, it would take a lot to, you know, prevent a Tapu Lele sweep on a +1 everything. Like, my goodness. Even this Magnezone, look at this damage. It's crazy. What can you do? Not very effective. Yeah, okay. I mean, obviously it resists it, but yeah. I mean, the damage, it really doesn't even matter if you resist. And she's got really good coverage as well. You know, Shadow Ball for things like Metagross that resist all the stabs. Hidden Power Fire for Scissor. So she's, yeah, she is very hard to defeat, especially when she's immune to immunity, immune to priority, sorry. But yeah, so it's a pretty much straightforward sweep from here. Tapu Lele, what can I say? So there's the Shadow Ball, just for the super effective damage. And finish off the battle there. So this is the second battle that I had. No, sorry, it was the third. I've only uploaded my wins today. I'm not very proud of my losses. They were from very silly mistakes, as with my first video using Will-O-Wisp on a misty terrain, set up by myself. Anyway, I had a look at this guy's team and I thought, okay, the best lead for me this time would be a Mimikyu, because I thought he might have a Talon Flame lead, and he did, so that's good. And I knew that if I used Shadow Claw on the first turn, it would get rid of his Gale Wings. So that would give me an opportunity to then use Trick Room and not have to worry about priority. So that's what I did. Trick Room, and as I said, because I've got rid of his Gale Wings, he can no longer use priority. So that gives me a perfect opportunity to use anything I like first, so Destiny Bond. And he proceeds to use a attack, so that means he's going to die now, which is going to be useful. It's always useful, of course. So that's it. One Pokemon down for him, one Pokemon down for me. We're on even grounds, except I have Trick Room up, so that gives me the upper hand. And as you can see, he's got Salazzle, which is typically a sweeper. There's no way this guy is going to outspeed me in a Trick Room setting. I used the Bone Meringue just in case he had Focus Sash, because that would be a bit unfortunate if you managed to get a nasty plot off and maybe had Hidden Power Ground, who knows. So just, you know, Bone Meringue just to make sure of the Focus Sash. And I have nothing to worry about here with this Metagross. I mean, what can I say? Flare Blitz is crazy. So I'm not sure if this guy was hoping he'd survive or what, but yeah. Again, with the Gengar, I use the Bone Meringue, which is really great because, you know, Gengar doesn't have Levitate anymore. What can I say? He got nerfed. So I use Bone Meringue just to, again, in case he has Focus Sash, and then he could Shadow Ball me and potentially kill me. And this is pretty interesting actually, because this whole match seems to be just showcasing the fact that Bone Meringue is amazing to use on Marowak, because versus this Mimikyu, again, you know, Bone Meringue, get rid of the disguise, and then do a bit of damage in case he does have a Focus Sash. So if he was a Focus Sash Mimikyu, that's you know, it's great. Bone Meringue just got rid of disguise and the Sash in one turn, which would normally take 2 turns to do. And I sent out Pyukumuku because he's unaware, and that means it doesn't matter that Sword Dance just happened, and it doesn't matter that this move is a Z move either. You know, Pyukumuku is going to take no damage. I honestly can't give this guy enough credit. He's just an amazing tank, an amazing addition to the metagame, seriously. So there you go. A Sword Dance, Ghostium Z, hardly any damage. And I knew I could recover because a non-life orb Mimikyu really doesn't do that much damage against unaware. That's why if you are going to run a Z move, you know, you need to have the Sword Dance damage. So if it's not being affected because of unaware, then yeah, Mimikyu does hardly any damage. So anyway, I get the Z Purify up, as I love. One of my favourite things this generation, honestly. And then just go into the typical Tapu Lele sweep. And of course, I don't have to worry about Shadow Sneak. You know, he's plus, I don't know, +4, I wasn't exactly counting. but +4 Shadow Sneak 100% would kill me. But I've got Psychic Terrain, obviously, that makes me immune to it. So I am completely safe. Shadow Ball to guarantee the kill. And it's pretty much just a free sweep from here. What can you really do against a +1 everything Tapu Lele? It is difficult. So yeah, Psychic just to finish off the match. And then that's the game. This is the last battle. Just using the same team again. Honestly, I've tried some other teams, but honestly, the combination of Trick Room and Purify-Z pass is just, combination is really powerful, and it's working out for me. So probably not going to change my teams till Pokebank, and I have some teams I'm more confident with. Anyway, I predict that it might be a taunt lead, so I play it safe with the Toxic, because I'm not 100% sure what happens if you use a status move that's a Z move, and then you get taunted. But even if it did work, I still wouldn't be able to baton pass it, so I played it safe. And it probably looked a little bit weird for my opponent because I just poisoned him and now I'm gonna cure him. So yeah, probably looked a bit weird. But anyway, I was just playing it safe. I got the Z Purify off, cured his poison, why not? And on the side, I got a little bit of health. So, that's always handy. It means I full health for my baton pass. Not always a bad thing. More health later in the game if I need it. And then I just begin with my Tapu Lele sweep. Because why not? Start things off strong. And obviously I'm immune to Excel Rock because of the Psychic Terrain, so I don't have to worry about that. He's not got a focus Sash, at least anymore, because I damaged him a tiny bit with Toxic, so that was helpful. And I'm not sure my opponent was 100% sure about Psychic Terrain, because they used Bullet Punch, and obviously that's not going to do anything to me because I'm in Psychic Terrain. But that's okay, because obviously in my first battle I made the mistake of using Will-O-Wisp on Misty Terrain, so there you go, It happens. But there you go, that's Hidden Power Fire, +1 Tapu Lele, definitely gonna kill it, even if it was specially defensive. Not sure about if it was in the rain, probably still kill it though. So I was not sure whether Psychic would do more damage than Moonblast. I did look at the calculations a little bit later on, and it did do more damage than if I was to use Psychic, so it was a good choice. Didn't quite manage to kill the Goodra, unfortunately, so I'm assuming it was definitely Assault Vested. And obviously my Tapu Lele dies from the recoil. So yeah, I just think, okay, that's my one card down. I bring out my little backup, which is obviously the Trick Room. And I think, okay, this is actually really good, because obviously Miniors are going to be, Shell Smash. That's like the only set they can run. So that's a good thing that I've got Trick Room. Because if for some reason I didn't manage to live, then that's fine. Marowak would be able to come in and finish him off. So I use the Shadow Claw this turn, just to attempt to get his health down, just to make it an easier sweep if I don't manage to survive. But again, just go with the Destiny Bond, because it is literally the best thing. Trick Room Destiny Bond is honestly my favourite. And Mimikyu makes it even better because he can have a Sash and Disguise. So that means he can do a little damage as well. So 1 for 1. Free Trick Room entry for Marowak. No problem at all. And this is where I think my opponent didn't have any answers really. I think he was assuming that I was Lightning Rod, so he swapped out to type Null. But then I don't think he quite thought about what moves his type Null has either. Because in the end it seems that he was actually walled by me. Because he was running probably Return, Toxic, and U-Turn. And I'm not sure about his other move. Maybe we'll get it in a second. But basically, I walled him, and his Xurkitree was definitely not going to kill me. So it was pretty much checkmate from here. And I love Marowak, honestly. But one of the prizes I gave to this guy was a type Null that had Shadow Claw, because I was having a little discussion with him in the stream. I was like, oh, you know, if you had Shadow Claw, then, you know, might be able to kill my Marowak here. But anyway, that's the Xurkitree down. And obviously it was just his type Null left. So, not too bad. He forfeited though, and I was a little bit disappointed, but obviously still got the battle video, so that's fine. Gave him a type Null with Shadow Claw, so if he ever does manage to fight me again, then he'll be in safe hands. He'll have a check to Marowak-A. And anyway, that's all the battles, and I hope you enjoyed them, and I'll be definitely sure to upload some more as I continue to stream.